another episode of Entrepreneurs en Fuego. We're documenting the journey of amazing entrepreneurs and victorious individuals, such as Mr. Perry P. We're documenting his journey, one digital footprint at a time. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
I'm looking nice, looking very nice.
Look at it. You got your lid up there, man. You're styling.
Trying to catch up to you, my man.
Rising from the Ashes, you have a book that is coming up, Turning Tragedy into Triumph.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rising from the Ashes. Tell us about the book. Tell us about the story. What inspired you to write this book?
That's a great question. The main thing that inspired me to write this book is the tragedy that my wife and I went through a few years ago. Full disclosure, we lost our firstborn son to a very rare disease called spinal muscular atrophy. And during those times, it was dark times for us because at that time, we actually had a little girl that was healthy and happy, and we didn't see this coming, and it really blindsided us to the point that
it was very sudden.
Oh yeah, it was very sudden. And the thing that got us the most was that it was the fact that it happened to us. And I know, don't get me wrong, like everybody has certain things happen to them, and
sure,
everyone goes through certain things, but being a devout Christian, we feel that, well, we try to do the best that we can do each and every moment, each and every day. So why is this happening to us? And I decided to document the story and the journey that we went through in order to help others that have gone through something similar. And even and one thing I wanted to always make sure I let people know is that you don't have to have, gone through the same type of tragedy that we have, but everyone's experienced some sort of tragedy, but not everyone has experienced the triumph on the other side. And that's where this book comes in, with Rising from the Ashes, turning your tragedy into triumph. A lot of people in the world need that type of inspiration, they need that type of information, and need that kind of edification in order to really succeed in life and turn their life around.
We're talking today in the show Entrepreneurs en Fuego is about the creation of your book and how you got to write the book. We do have another show called Survivors.
Oh, okay. Which
in fact talks about the very thing that you're discussing. And again, we're, I guess, for the sake of putting today's interview in context, we're talking about your book, and we're talking about the experience that led you to write that book, and how we're going to market that book and everything else. But let me kind of go back a little bit to where you said you questioned. Why is this happening to me?
Oh yeah, that was.
You have done everything right. You have been a devoted Christian. You're living a right life, and you get punished.
It's an interesting, phrase that you use when it comes to punishment or consequences. But one thing that I've learned throughout this entire process is that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are or how you live your life. Tragedy is going to affect you in one shape, way, form, or fashion. But it's up to you as the individual to see that as an opportunity to not only help your immediate family or your immediate friends or your immediate circle, but also help those that aren't in your immediate circle, that are somewhat going through something similar. So it's tough space because and don't get me wrong, I didn't by no means that I had this type of mentality while going through this journey. Oh no, like there was, I never cast it out or never did curse God or anything like that, but there were serious conversations with the creators about, like, why is this happening to me, and why is this happening to my wife, and like, what did we do? What happened in our life? What happened? What was it? Something that one of our ancestors, like, what's going? So many questions. But once you get that peace beyond all understanding, that's actually one of the chapters in there called "Peace Beyond All Understanding." You feel this type of calm, cool, collected, coherent, and competent mentality where you see it as an opportunity to help someone else.
How did you achieve that peace? Because there is a point where you came to the realization that my daughter's not coming back.
Oh, it's actually my son.
Your son, I'm sorry.
No,
your son is not coming back. And I have to live the rest of my life and make something productive out of it. I'll write a book and I'll inspire others to also show them that I overcame this incredible tragedy. and I am here on the other side, victorious, celebrating, if you will, the ability to have conquered this particular tragedy?
That's a great question. I was actually involved in this international organization called Toastmasters.
Sure.
It's a international organization to help people become better speakers, better leaders, better communicators, and so on. And they had this international speech that I wanted to be in. And I was actually in Toastmasters for a little while there. And I asked my group members, I was like, well, I can do this speech A, which talks about, it was something along the lines of, like when it rains, there's always a rainbow. So it was something like, it was a good speech, but not as heavy, if you will, as talking about what happened with my wife and I. And that started my journey when it came to really processing a lot of the scenarios that happen, or processing a lot of the emotion, and also journaling too. Like I'm a big writer, big reader, and really processing all of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, if you don't process it, if you don't have somebody to reach out to, if you don't have an outlet, bad things happen. I mean, we see it all the time.
Yeah.
We see it all the time in life, and that's the tragedy, is not having those individuals have that triumph on the other side.
Right. And this is what's good about your story, despite the tragedy, is that you are telling somebody that went through some tragic moment that is watching this right now, saying, look, I went through this. My wife and I went through this. And here we are talking about it. There is hope. During the Holocaust, there is a gentleman by the name of Sam Finkel who said that it is not important what it is done to you or what happens to you. What is important is what you do with what has been done to you. That's what's important.
Oh yeah.
How do you react with a tragedy that you have before you? And that's what you've managed to write about, and that's what you managed to do.
It's funny that you mentioned that quote. That's one thing that I actually, tell when I'm talking with people, no matter who they are or where they're from. I always tell people it doesn't matter what happens to you; it's how you respond to it. And I think a lot of us get caught up into the first part of what happens to us, and we get, "What was me?" and we get down and out. And those are practical emotions, and it's okay to have those emotions.
Right, and it is interesting because tragedies have been occurring. And again, let's go back to the Holocaust, World War II, and that's where a lot of people question their faith, question, why is this happening to us? We're the chosen people.
Why would a God of love allow something like this?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so if you come to a realization that, well, I have to do something with what has been done to me, and then use that in a very positive manner, like you're doing right now with writing this book, and with this interview, talking about it so frankly, and that's courageous. It takes a lot of courage to talk about it.
I wasn't like this before.
but it takes that courage to celebrate your victory, and that's what's amazing. Now, are you dedicated to just doing this project for the time being, or do you do anything else? What is?
Well, truth be told, I'm a speaker at heart. I'm a speaker first, and just with the progression of my vocation, it got me to writing this book. And obviously, I have a couple other projects that I have on the horizon, but I just want to focus on this right here, right now, because it is my first book, and I really want to see this come to fruition. And it's like I keep telling people, it's like Lord bless me to be a man, because I will never know what it's like to give birth. But to me, this is kind of like that. It's like it's been growing up inside me for months now, for years now, and then sooner or later it's gonna just come out, and then it's gonna be, wow, here it is.
Mr. Perry P., you are an example of determination, of overcoming tragedy, and coming triumphant at the other end, man. And I truly respect that, and I think that we lost the thing somehow, but that's okay. That's right, we know what the book is. Rising from the Ashes, and the book is going to be out when?
It actually comes out this Monday.
Comes out this Monday, and is it going to be available?
Yeah, Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah, they have this awesome thing of POD, print on demand, and you don't have to go to the big publisher anymore. It's crazy how time and the times have changed with technology and all that. It's like you can go and straight to the source to give it straight to the source.
We're going to invite you back once you get some traction with your book.
Okay.
For the other show Survivors in Fuego, so that you can tell what, in more detail, how it is that you were able to, you and your wife, to overcome this tragedy that you've turned into, in this case, coming out of it triumphantly. And from an entrepreneurship perspective, this is an incredible book. Rising from the Ashes, you speak with a lot of passion from the heart.
Well, thank you, sir.
And this book is going to be very successful. I
claim that name, Jesus.
I can see Denzel Washington playing you, my brother.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
Made for TV movie, maybe.
Yeah, right. I can see that. I can see that.
With that fashion style that you got, my man.
Right.
You got it, brother. And with that, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We're out.